All right, another day, another bourbon hunt on this long road trip I'm on. We're gonna be in Baltimore today.
It's a half year too. I didn't see that in 23.
What's your pour price on something like this?
$11 a half ounce.
Yeah, I'll take one of those. Fancy.
The barrel has a little hidden trick with it, so.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Brewzle.
All right, another day, another bourbon hunt on this long road trip I'm on. Today, we have made our way up from South Carolina to the general Richmond, Virginia area. I'm not gonna get too hard and heavy. Like our feedback when we said we were gonna be in Richmond is, don't get mugged. And so I'm gonna try very hard not to go into those areas of Richmond, but also state-run systems. Lots of times they don't like for us to film. And so we're gonna see if we run into any problems with that. But we do have a guide to help find the right stores and keep us out of trouble.
How's it going, everybody? My name's John, Johnny on the Discord channel. I'm just a local bourbon lover, following Brewzle for about 8 months now. We're in the Midloian area, to be more specific, Chesterfield County. Just gonna take him around and see if we can find something good.
Any particular bottles you're looking for, you hoping we find?
Russell's 15 would be nice.
Of course that would, yes.
Passed on a couple of Joseph Magnus cigar blends last week. Wouldn't mind to find one of those today, so we'll see.
So what's this first store we're at here?
First store, we're at Woodlake Commons, Virginia, ABC.
You said this was your lucky store. This is the one you found the most stuff.
When they used to do the drop systems, this was always the store that I would camp out at.
And you said they just changed the system in Virginia. What did they change it from and to?
So we were on, you would get kind of a text message or an email, and they would tell you, hey, we're doing drops at XYZ store, and it would just be a mad rush up there. Or they would tell you we're doing it on a weekend, and everybody would camp out. And now the way they're doing it is they're not really holding anything back. It's kind of done at a district manager's discretion. Whenever he wants to do a drop, he gives the store a call, and they have 30 minutes to put their drops out. Normally when they would do the camp outs, we'd have people all the way back. We'd open that gate up.
Okay.
Go way on back.
So you'd have, what, 50, 100 folks here? Or?
At least on.
Okay. Well, as expected, we got shut down. We cannot record in the state stores. I knew it was going to be a problem in North Carolina, but the holiday saved me. Now it's a problem in Virginia, so I guess I'm moving on to Washington, D.C.
You're not leaving. Not yet.
It's already been a morning. I mean, I tried to hunt in North Carolina, and that didn't really work out because it's freaking holiday, and I don't know what day it is. Not that they would have let us filmed in there anyway, but we did get in South Carolina. Tried to hunt in Virginia yesterday, won't let us film in there. And so I'm making my way up. We're gonna be in Baltimore today, but it's been quite the drive to get here. Through DC traffic, rush hour in the morning, not a good time. And I have seen some things I've never seen before. I'm coming down the interstate and the car's like 2 lanes over. There's like 5 or 6 lanes of traffic. The car's 2 lanes over, start driving erratically and just shooting across the freaking interstate like crazy. And I look, and there's just a wheel rolling down the road, starts careening into cars and stuff. And I'm like, where did this wheel come from? I get down the road a little ways, and there's a dude, he is still rolling 40 miles an hour down the street with 3 wheels. He's like leaning back, the back, just dragging, just gouging the road, sparks flying everywhere. He ain't even put his blinker or his flashers on or anything. He's just like, man, I'm rolling. He was just cruising. He had his hand up on the wheel, just chilling. He was rolling, man. He didn't care. He didn't miss that wheel one bit. He passed an exit while I was passing him, passed an exit where he could have got off and checked. He didn't even stop to see what happened. He just like, it's still rolling. I'm still going. That's what we're gonna do today right here, trying to find some good bourbon in Baltimore, Maryland. I've got a couple of tour guides here.
Mike?
Yeah, just, okay.
Okay. What else you want me to say? I don't know.
Why waste time? Say lot word when few word do trick.
Tell me what got you into bourbon?
I don't know. Just Four Roses is what got me into bourbon. I've been watching your stuff, watching some other guys on YouTube and stuff like that, meeting some people in the local area, just having a good old time.
Any particular bottle you're hoping to find?
I mean, I don't know, some of the places we're going to go to, I don't know if some of them do their allocated stuff is more like point system or that kind of stuff, but you never know what you're going to find. I mean, maybe a good store pick or something like that.
I'm Justin. Me and Mike, we hunt together. We're both West Virginia guys that hunt Maryland. Kind of got into bourbon by mistake. I was at a WVU game. It was colder than hell out. Somebody had a Woodford Reserve Double Oak, and I kind of fell in love with it that day. And ever since then, I've been watching YouTubes and you know, just spending all my money on bourbon.
I mean, that's not the worst place to spend all your money, but we've got a beautiful day today. The sun is very, very bright, but it's like 70 degrees, man. This is what I was expecting when I come north. And usually the 100-degree weather follows me, not this trip. Where are we starting at here? What's this store?
Allview Liquors. So you're in Maryland. Knob Creek 12 is everywhere.
Yeah, it's crazy how
crazy.
state by state, yeah. A lot of states it's out though. They're putting a bunch of it out these days.
Yeah.
It is fun just to see the difference in distribution on stuff like that though.
Oh, yeah.
Barrel proof here.
Yep.
Which one is that?
524.
524. Full allotment of mixtures. All the willet in the world. 10-year rye, Burr rye. Starting to see those in more and more states. Bowman Brothers small batch.
You know, you got the toasted barrel. I thought they had the toasted rye here. Maybe they
Just some
I've passed on a couple of toasted ryes just because I want one, I need one, but there was always something else that it's like I can get one and
That's the thing. You spend $60 on that, you don't spend $60 on something else.
I think I picked a sweet wheat instead of that at one of
Yeah, I'd have
the
picked
Alabama
that up
drop
too.
or something. 2XO's getting a little fancier with some colored labels here now.
That's an interesting one. They're in Virginia.
Okay, I haven't tried that one.
They only do rye. It's all Virginia rye. That's got the hot honey. Yeah.
Oh, that's the one we went to
Yeah,
after
we-
the allocated drop.
yeah.
That's a good story there.
Yeah.
Now I don't know about hot honey rye.
It's not bad.
Actually, not too
Okay.
bad.
We tried it at the distillery. So
Why do they call it hot? It's not like spicy.
It's got a pepper.
Hey,
pepper
what's up, guys?
Hey, how you
Somebody-
doing?
Justin.
Mike.
Nice to meet you.
Hey Justin, TJ,
TJ, nice to meet you.
nice to meet you.
Justin as well.
Justin, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. You guys head out to Jug City today?
Yeah, we're gonna
Yeah.
head there
Nice.
towards the end of the day. Yep.
Yeah.
See the go to the fountain.
Yeah. Here's our Willet pick still there, available to
Yeah, we just
taste.
did a Willet pick. About a month ago, I'd say.
Yeah.
What is it? What'd you pick?
We did 11-year bourbon. I did 11-year bourbon.
11-year purple top. What's the price on that bottle?
Oh, it's not available.
It's not available, so it's there to sample. It's not there to buy.
So the
Yeah.
fountain, we didn't
Okay.
talk about that yet. It's an old-fashioned soda bar.
Okay.
And they sell basically at-cost pours of highly allocated
It's
bourbon.
actually probably below cost.
Yeah, a lot of it's below cost too. I think it was like $15 a pour for Willet Purple Top.
Yeah.
And you ain't
That's
beating
not
that.
bad
They
for
could
an
do
11-year.
pack 23 for $23 for a half ounce.
He got
Wow.
the Double Eagle very rare. He sold that at I think that was-
$75 a half ounce.
We will definitely check that place out. We're going to check out the selection here, and then we'll try some of those samples. Let's see what kind of whiskey selection we've got over here. You said this is the barrel picks.
Yeah, these are his single barrels. So
Okay.
these are the Wilderness Trail trilogy he was just talking about. So he's got they're all tater sticker too. This is the Weeder, the Rizeji.
So these are 3 different barrels.
Yes, and then the high rye.
Okay.
Yep. So we got the bourbon, we got a regular rye, and then a high rye.
Have you tried those 3?
I have not. Our buddy just picked up the entire trilogy of them, and I think he tried the ryes. He said they were both very good, but I think he said he does have them for sample as well, so we'll get to try them.
That was pretty good. That's not bad. Yeah.
I have had some of the Wilderness Trail single barrels, just not those specific single barrels.
Didn't know anything about this brand here.
I see it a lot. It's on seal box.
Yeah.
a lot
It's
too.
a 95.5. They're up out of Philadelphia. I think it's where the company
Okay.
is.
So it's MGP 95.5.
Yep.
It says extra aged, but there's no age statement on it.
Yep, there we go. Distilled on 2012, bottled 2024.
So that's another 12-year.
12 year.
So a lot of people say I hate MGP. It's not the case at all. I think MGP makes a fine whiskey. Just normally when I'm going through and I'm buying stuff, I would just rather have something made by somebody that I know is different, because I've probably got 300 bottles made by MGP on the shelf out of the 750 we have open right now. And so I would just rather spend my money on something somebody made. But I do like that Bullet 12 rye. I wouldn't mind trying a different, 10, 12-year-old MGP 95.5 rye. We'll see what the price is on this though, because, smaller brand, not sure they can compete with Bullet's pricing on that 12-year.
You should get to try it too, since it's a single barrel. He should
Okay,
have
should have a sample. Then we might just try it and see if we want to buy it.
These aren't store picks, but these are some of the
Okay.
like weirder to get or harder to get.
13-year Clyde Mays,
Yep.
small batch Sagamore,
See
Purple
if we
Rising.
can sag.
What is Purple Rising?
Yeah, it's probably one of the
Okay.
Raven special releases. They do a lot. I guess the founder also founded Under Armour. So he's got a deep connection to local sports teams. So you'll see a lot of that with Sagamore.
You'll see a lot of Old Line. That's a Baltimore brand.
A lot of rye in Maryland.
A lot of rye in Maryland.
Yeah, these are single malts.
Old Line makes mostly malt. Sag does rye. There's Baltimore Distilling.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a couple. Epoch. I seen a bottle over there. This is Premier Dram, so this is the brand that he was mentioning earlier from Jack Rose. It's a restaurant in DC. They do like really, really high-end tasting events, and then he's got the Premier Drams brand that he does now. These are pricey. I haven't had any, but from what I'm told, they're very, very good bottles, and I think he has those to sample as well. He does a lot of stuff with 2XO as well, with
Dixon Deadman.
Yeah, Dixon Deadman. Yep. He was just up here for a tasting and signing, and did a release, I think, of the Gem of Kentucky while he was up here. Yep.
The shoes, I believe, is $159.99. 12. Yeah, they're not cheap. That's for sure. We've done shoes right when they first came out, 8-year picks, 9-year picks, 10-year picks. Cyrus. So if anybody knows the story behind Hughes, Cyrus actually got most of his barrels from Willett back in the day when Willett was sourcing. They were sourcing rye from MGP. So he had some MGP barrels still left over, and basically Cyrus bought that stock because Willett's never going to release MGP ever again. It's only going to be their own rye, and that's where all the Hughes Bella Bedford stuff comes from. You got to like rye, and you got to like oak, and you gotta like tobacco and leather and cola. I mean, full flavored, full bodied. Not those dill bombs. Some of them are, but not this one.
All right, I think we're gonna sample some of these barrel picks, and got some stuff just sitting back here open. Maybe this is where we're sampling them. I don't know.
So these are the two bottles I would probably say just things that you're not gonna be able to find.
Okay.
The single rick house holiday that just came to Maryland. There's only 20 cases, I think, that came to Maryland.
We've bought over 30 barrels from Holiday at this point.
Yeah.
I want to try that Hughes right there for sure.
And then the 2XO Gem of Kentucky.
I was like, got a little kick to it, but it is 10:45 in the morning.
Yeah, no, you're 110 proof, so nothing crazy.
Wow.
Nose is a little bit sweeter than the profile, but that's how you're gonna at 12-year oaky rye.
Good description of this one. I mean, definitely
Leather.
oak, tobacco, leather.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, intense. Awesome, man. Well, it's nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Well, that was a fun store. Definitely knowledgeable. Goes through a lot of barrel picks. Had some really interesting barrel picks. I liked that one we tried, that older MGP. I forget the brand name already. That's the kind of day it is. It was good. Not what I'm looking for. I would much rather have that Bullet 12, and it's like a third the price. I'm gonna stick to that. But this is definitely a cool store, one that I would frequent a lot if I lived around here. So what's next, you said?
We were gonna go to Angel Share down here, but you mentioned the Russell's Camp Nelson pick, and I happen to know where one's sitting 10 minutes away if you want to go take a look.
Okay, let's do it. Do you end your day with a glass of bourbon, but start your day with a cup of coffee? Well, we can help you with your bourbon needs, but our friends at Trade Coffee can get your day started right. The people at Trade know that the key to having a good morning is to start with an amazing coffee from America's top roasters, crafted to your specific flavor profile and roasted to order. The best part of Trade is that they make it easy to get coffee you'll love. They partner with independent roasters across the United States and handpick the best coffee for their customers to enjoy. My favorite right now from Trade includes this Colombian Los Grayanes from Anodyne Coffee Roasters. I don't know. It's delicious. They don't make it easy for me to pronounce. Their tasting notes of nougat, green apple, and graham cracker are absolutely freaking spot on. My goodness. Like, you know it's fresh roasted right before they send it to you. And this bag just arrived, so it smells absolutely... What's a coffee bean taste like? Actually pretty tasty. My favorite part of using Trade is the variety, because I never would have found this bag of coffee without their service. Brewing a fresh cup of delicious coffee is the best way to begin a day. And if you're ready to get an amazing cup of coffee, head over to drinktrade.com/Brewzle to get your first bag of coffee for free. Remember, that's drinktrade.com/Brewzle to get your first bag free with any subscription. More information is linked in the notes below. Now, let's get back to that bourbon hunt. All right, let's go check out Pine Orchard, stop number 2. We were at stop number 1 for like an hour, okay? So we're not being efficient. Luckily, we got a couple of things we got to squeeze in today, but we got all day. Hancock Reserves right there. That Kentucky Owl, other than I found a store that had it mistakenly priced. Other than that, that's the cheapest I've seen it. Well, maybe different. I don't know. That's 12. Maybe they come down and price at 12.
It's a half year too. I didn't see that at 23.
I didn't even notice it either. The bag always hides it.
So we got some scotches
Stuff
here.
squeezed in here everywhere.
This is your aisle right here, right?
Yeah, that's what I need.
Yep.
Yeah, take that too.
Yeah, why not? You know, while you're at it, you might as well, right? You only live once.
I tell you what, you blindfold half the people and give them a $5 one and a $50 one, they wouldn't know. I mean, that's just me. I'm not a big one.
Well, I mean, as somebody who's drank a lot of expensive whiskey, sometimes,
Whiskey.
oftentimes I can tell them apart.
Yeah.
But the more expensive one's not always better.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah,
Unless you
exactly.
get rid of the real old age statements on it. Sometimes they're just so overpowering on oak that you're like, man, I really paid this for this.
Got too much.
Well, it's like that Van Winkle up there. The 15's better than that.
Yep.
But the 23's, 8 years older and harder to find and all of these things, more rare, so it just makes it more expensive.
There's a couple jacks I like for sure.
Well, they Jack 10 and 12 up there, but, they got a little bit of a price on them.
They did. I happened to run into this one. I don't know.
Little Russell's pick. Little Russell. I mean,
It's an 8-year TY.
it's great specs. Great specs. I do happen to have like
Probably.
6 of those at the house, I think. I give more of those away than I actually drink because it's like I got like 6 sitting back there, and somebody's like, I need another Russell's pick because
Well, I got a bunch
they're
of
so good. Like
They
these are
are.
so good. Don't get me wrong. Like in normal circumstances, like y'all should be buying these. Under normal circumstances, I eat those up.
So I got a 9-year TYK the other day from a store in DC that was pretty good. Makes me not want an 8-year TYK right now, I'll tell you that. But it was phenomenal. Got a CNF. Probably not the greatest buy in the world. Heard cherry bomb, didn't taste cherry bomb. Super shallow bottle. But
That's what we tried, right?
yeah, I think it was so set up in my head that it was going to be a delicious cherry cola that when I tried it, I was like, man, this is all right whiskey.
The Camp Nelsons usually are a little more cherry forward to me, typically, but not always.
Foolproof store pick, 1792 sitting there. Elijah
Say that,
Craig,
69 bucks. You could buy it by the case.
Yeah.
I didn't look up there. Was the prices on those by the case? $3,000 for a case of Van Winkle 23? I think I might reevaluate my options here. Honestly, probably the first store I've ever been in that's just got case prices. Those Yellowstone prices are those Yellowstone picks are really nice. Yeah, never seen anybody list case prices. I guess it's just common for people to just come in here and say, I'll take a case of it. You always check the ages on these because sometimes they're like well over 8 years.
Oh, so you
I
got
got
another
an
one
8
over
year.
8 year.
I got an 8 year 6 month in the Virginia ABC about a month ago.
Chestnut Farms, isn't that a Total Wine only brand? I thought that was a Total Wine brand.
Distilled and aged by the Clear Spring Distilling Company. I don't know.
I guess not, but I typically see them there.
Some more of the Maryland Brandon. This is Mike Rowe from Dirty Jobs.
Okay.
Yeah, that's his Tennessee whiskey. So he's a Maryland guy. He's a Baltimore guy. Yeah, that's contract.
The big Tennessee distiller.
TDG.
They only do contract distilling only.
Yeah, TDG,
that's where that
Tennessee
comes
Distillers
from.
Group.
Yep. And that's here in Baltimore.
Distilled, aged, and bottled at the Baltimore Spirits Company. Any idea the age? Does it say an age on this? Pot distilled, 100 proof.
We got a buddy that's really
we got
likes them.
He's
I'll take that one.
Really
I
likes
gotta
it.
try that. All right, so this was the other one y'all said was good,
talking.
but it's not the crazy, was it crazy finish on the last one or something, wasn't it?
Yeah.
This is a single barrel actually for 30 bucks.
Single barrel rye, yeah. That's the Roundstone rye, yep. Now they did a special release of that called the Ragnarok rye.
Ragnarok.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's got a little topper.
yeah,
to
it's
it.
got a fancy topper to it that I'm told makes the whiskey taste better.
Yeah, it does. It does.
But
Get y'all warmed
I'm
up.
told it is a very good bottle despite the fancy topper.
Okay. What are these matchstick and boot
He knows
jacks
about
right
that
here?
one, right?
Those are out of Frederick, Maryland. It's a smaller distillery in Frederick.
Did they distill it themselves?
I believe they do everything themselves.
Aged in a Kentucky white oak barrel at least 2 years.
So it's young.
Yeah, I'll give them a little time. What's up, man? You see me all the time?
I see you all the time.
TJ, nice to meet you.
Find great stuff out there.
Well, that's what we're trying to find here. What do you think about this stuff right here? Do you know anything about this?
We ran out of the other.
I was saying, that's the only one I seen up there.
Yeah.
And that's the last one of that one.
Yeah, that's the last one of that one. The reserve rye was good.
Okay, so the reserve rye is better than this one?
I think so.
Okay, so I may just wait and see if I can find a reserve rye somewhere then. I would rather have a little more proof points too if they've got it. I don't know if the reserve rye is higher or lower
A little
proof.
bit higher, I think.
Okay,
Yeah. I dropped off my son in Texas 3 weeks ago.
okay.
My wife and I was watching your stuff in the hotel, and we're like, we're gonna hit Kentucky on the way back up. So we went to a couple of distilleries, and it was fun. And we were taking your recommendations and where you find stuff.
Yeah, at Black Maple Hills. I had a blue bottle. I'm assuming it's a rye. I don't know. I had the other one. It was not wonderful. The older stuff, like it used to be a label. Somebody brought it back. I have not liked the stuff I've
looks
had.
like an older label.
Now, I haven't had a lot of stuff from them, but what I have had, not wonderful. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right, so this store's got a lot of stuff. I mean, they definitely got a lot of whiskey sitting in there. A lot of everything, honestly. Great selection. The stuff behind the counter, I mean, they're going secondary, right? They're going to be museums on a lot of that, but we did find some local stuff that we haven't tried before. So I'm excited about that, but now it's time to head to the next store. We'll catch up with you there. Sooner or later, this is gonna come back to bite me, but they give me a name of a place, I throw it in GPS, it's like 30 minutes away. They're like, it's a little bit of a hike. Halfway here, I'm like, I don't have their cell phone numbers, and this is a long way away, and I just didn't really vet if this was the place they were heading. Because there's actually another place with this name about the same distance away, but it's not in Maryland, it's over in DC. So I chose this one. Glad I did, because now we're in the same spot. But it is going to bite me before it's all said and done. I need to just slow down just a little bit, you know, make sure I get to the right place. Peerless Rye, little Dark Arts. Another one of those brands that has just done MGP, but they do MGP really, really well. Got the fancy stopper on here. Yeah, I mean, obviously we do a lot of picks with these guys. We've got our own rye coming here pretty soon. We've got a new Riff single barrel coming soon. This is Chairman's Reserve rum, okay. Some Guadalupe. Hey, TJ.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, yes sir.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Brewzle.
TJ.
I can't. I watch your stuff all the time.
Appreciate it, man. It's nice to meet you.
I watch videos where people say, "Oh, I'm in the store. I'm hanging out with Brewzle," and there he is in the store that I go. Well, let me get
Now you get to tell that story.
And that's Bridget. She actually runs the whiskey department and stuff, everything here.
You knew we were coming?
We got an email.
Who emailed you? Oh, y'all emailed ahead?
Yeah.
We typically don't let anybody know.
No, we just said we're coming in and
Like.
we're with somebody that
Okay.
we just said just do YouTube and that kind of stuff. So that's
We just surprise them, and if they tell us stop filming, which
Yeah.
happens very rarely,
Yep.
that's fine. We stop filming, we move on.
From you, from your Detling one,
Okay.
because we are pretty much the Detling store.
Nice. I heard you got a high rye Detling at one point as well, which he didn't make a lot of those. So that was our barrel pick.
You got
Same
the-
thing,
you got
yeah.
barrel 3. We had the first one and the last one.
Okay.
The first one, Bridget had went down and did a pick with 9 women, I think it was, and they did the pick. The next day they were out on the combines harvesting the corn. They bottled it, labeled it, did everything, and all of the money from that, all the profits from that went to the Breast Cancer Research Foundation. So we raised a little over $11,000 for Breast Cancer Research Foundation, with a pink top.
Didn't expect to find a lot of Detling up this way.
Yeah, we've done 7 barrel picks with them so far in 2 years. Our next one, we pre-picked one when we were there in March, so that should drop sometime in November. And we just got this room open about a month ago.
Okay, so just expand it out this way?
We've been working on it since January 2023. Lots of hoops to jump through, but finally got the shoppable space open. Back there, whenever we finish all the things we got to do with the health department, that'll actually be a whiskey, tequila, and wine bar. All the prices you'll find on the backs of the bottles.
Okay. This is the cask proof, finished in hickory syrup barrels. Oh, there's a lip.
We do have the castle strength brownstone
Okay.
rye in the bottled and blonde they just released.
It's the bonded. Cask proof. Was this the one I just bought at the other store? What did I buy at the other store? I think there was one. It was a local thing, but it wasn't a cash strength. Yeah, we'll go with it. If I end up with two, I end up two. I don't think so. I think that's how long the drive was here. I forgot what I bought. I don't think it was that one. I think it was more like an 80 proof, 90 proof version.
Okay.
And a 92, I think.
Yeah, I got one of those. So I would rather have this one. So I wasted my money on that one. All the old granddads.
Yeah, you'll see them on shelves pretty much everywhere.
Took me a while to actually find a bonded old granddad when I was looking for one, but it seemed like they don't sell those in Alabama. At least they didn't when I was looking for one. Got the deadly one right there. Fancy decanters. Starting to see some Pingree up here. Don't see that many places outside of Michigan. At least I haven't. Tobacco Barn Distillery.
So that's down in southern Maryland.
Okay.
They're three former, I think they're all Navy guys that started it as their small little like micro distillery down in southern Maryland.
That's what I was trying to see what the age was. Here, you read it. I'm out of hands. I've got bottles and cameras and.
4 year, 13 days. Oh, 5 year, 4 month, 13 days.
What? 5 years?
That's very clear for a 5 year.
Yeah, it's like that. That's kind of light, which means I'm assuming it's not in a small barrel then.
So, Willet, Bean, and then Basil Hayden. They're all originally from Maryland, and they moved to Kentucky.
Yeah, they were outcast.
They were outcasted for religious beliefs and stuff. So the original colonists, yeah, and they moved to Kentucky, and I think they're close to where that is. And I think they sell in here and a couple other stores. He might know more about how that's done over there.
What do you know about these guys?
Honestly, I don't know a ton.
They're way south. Hollywood, Maryland. Yeah, that's like right before you get to the bridge to go over into Virginia. They make a bourbon cream too. That's the #1 selling bourbon cream.
Okay.
We did a lot of blind tastings on it, and people were looking for other brands, and that one won every single time.
How's the actual whiskey?
It's solid.
It's very light for the age.
Yeah. What's the proof on that one?
It's the bonded, it's 100. Yeah. Normally with small distilleries, I'm just curious if they, lots of times they'll put them in small barrels or rush them through. They should have put that one in a small barrel because that one got no age. That might have been aged in a refrigerator. We're gonna try it though. I remember when those architects were hard to find, boy, and those things are everywhere.
Yeah, you see a lot of them.
We actually did the first architect pig ale out.
Really? Yeah. That's awesome.
This is everything from around the world.
Oh, this is the awful. This is the bad. Okay. This is the garbage bin.
The odd thing is one of the most popular non-big brand things here is this Mexican corn whiskey. 100% Mexican ancestral corn. You get wild notes of agave in it, and there's no agave at all.
You're not pouring that over there, are you?
We sure am.
Okay. Oh, I've got one of those. That's a good bottle. That's a good bottle.
This is actually pretty good.
I mean, I still don't really like Scotch.
Yeah, but that bottle.
But as far as Scotch goes, pretty solid. When I say I like it, I mean, I'm never going to go back and just say, I want to pour this. But I can drink it. And then you start talking about like Compass Box, some of their finished stuff. Okay, it barely tastes like, finished Irish whiskeys, finished Scotches, especially if they're light Scotches, barely taste like those things. So that's not fair. Like for me to like a Scotch, for me to like an Irish whiskey, it has to not taste like a Scotch or an Irish whiskey. And then what's the point? I'll just drink a bourbon. All right, so this is Mexican corn whiskey, 100% ancestral corn. And based on the smell, they indeed have been watering that corn with tequila. That's crazy. And that's corn.
100% corn.
So that makes me think is like that flavor is not coming from the agave. That flavor is coming from the process or the dirt.
Yeah, that's what we're
right?
looking to. I forget what it was called, but there's the way that they soak the corn and break it down is just a very old traditional way of doing it. I can't remember what the name was, and I was wondering if that is part of the process of changing.
So they don't break it down into, they soak it in tequila to break it down? Is that what they do?
That's what it tastes like.
Okay, much more subtle on the palate. That's nice though.
Yeah.
Like that's nice. I'm not a tequila guy. Mostly because I used to like tequila. It's mostly because me and tequila just don't get along. Like, I just tend to get in trouble. Tequila and rum, not things that I'm going to consume a bunch of. But it smells like you blended a tequila with White Dog, which is, I mean, corn whiskey, right? That makes sense, right? So you get a little bit of that, like whatever you would say is that tequila smell. I don't know how to put that other than it smells like tequila and White Dog.
That bottle's been open for a couple of weeks, so I think it's kind of calmed down a little bit on the nose.
Yeah. It's like a real dusty cornmeal flavor, though. Like much more cornmeal than most bourbon White Dogs are going to be. And it's, you know, I assume it's aged a little bit in something. Not long, though. That's weird. I like it. I don't want a bottle, but I like it.
We brought it in by the bottle at first. It was like, we have to try it. And then everyone who's tried it, like not everyone, lots of people try it. It's so unique that they're buying a bottle for their collection. I'm going through a couple cases of it already.
So you almost talked me into it. Because it's like, that is nice to have just as a storytelling element when you're making some pours at the house. Just like, oh, you like tequila? What about this? How much is that bottle?
44.
Okay, I'll take one. He taught me into it. You would have just thought that just came from agave, right? It's just an agave flavor, but obviously not. Like, some of those flavors are coming from the water or, the process or the dirt in some way. Either that or they're lying and they put tequila in it. One of those things have happened. What is this? Oh, the Detling. So this is show me the pink label, the Detling High Rye. Honest opinion here, this was, I think he made about 4 barrels of this high rye bourbon before he started making his rye. I'm going to give you an honest opinion of if I think this is the same, worse, or better than our single barrel high rye. I don't think the rye comes through as strong on the nose as our barrel, which that might actually be better. Very similar to ours. I would say our rye spice cuts through. I'm wondering if, like with Detling though, what's interesting about Detling is no 2 barrels are the same. Like most people are gonna put whiskey in a barrel, it's gonna be there for a certain amount of years, they're gonna pull it. He takes every single barrel and he tries it and he's like, it needs to be double oaked, it needs to be this, it needs to be that, it needs to just sit a little longer. Like, he just does every one of them bespoke. And so it wouldn't surprise me if it's a different mash bill, slight tweak on this, slight tweak on that. One of them might get double barreled and you don't even know it. So I wouldn't expect it to be the same. Very similar. I think the malt's stronger on this one. The rye spice is a little less. I'm gonna take mine, but this one's really good. Still probably my second favorite Detling I've ever had right here, behind our single barrel. Of course, now Detling has a lot of malt on his, a lot of chocolate malt notes. I'm not a big fan of that. I love the guy, I love what he's doing. Not a fan of his normal release stuff for my palate. Right. Now, if you like that kind of chocolate malt note, you'll love Detling. Right. And a lot of people do. Appreciate it.
Thank you for coming in, man. I appreciate it.
All right, I think we are loaded up on local stuff for this trip. Now we're gonna see what else we can find. Maybe lean toward more limited stuff or be just a little bit more selective. Next up, Drug City, which sounds like a good time. Sounds like trouble maybe a little bit, but a good time. No, of course, in here was the soda shop, which we were told has whiskey and food. So we are in here. I'm in Maryland, so I felt like I had to have a crab cake, like by law. I did have them put it on a bun. Is that okay? That's acceptable, right? There's not some. You're not like not a purist. Do you eat yours on a bun?
No.
They got a couple whiskeys back here.
What? I see a bunch of Willie Purple Tops right there.
The best one we got back here right now is the Serendipity, which was
okay, that's the one he was telling us about earlier, right?
We did that with Allview over in Ellicott City.
What's your pour price on something like this?
$11 a half ounce.
Yeah, I'll take one of those. I like to just leave the bottle with you there as well so you can see what you're sipping on. All right, let's go with the Purple Top. Then we'll get on our crab cake. That's like almost like a honey to it. Man, really like those Willet Purple Tops. This one is 11 years old. I don't think I have a 10 at home. That's the oldest one I have, but not an 11. Let's try this crab cake right here. Oh, the Willet? No. No, it's not. You got the kid side for some sodas, but honestly, this is like a McDonald's Coke when they get it right. You know how you know what I mean when I say McDonald's Coke, right? Like they amp the syrup up on it a little bit. And then you got the adult side over here. I mean, they're small pours, but you get to try a whole bunch of really expensive stuff for reasonable prices, and the food's fantastic.
Probably put it in getting out of here soon. You guys want to grab a quick road pour? Follow me upstairs to the tasting room, and you can come down here and finish your session.
Yes. Say it.
Yeah. Sounds wonderful. I don't even know what it was I just got invited to, but when somebody says, do you want, I usually just say, yeah. It hasn't got me in trouble yet. Led to a lot of fun things.
If you guys want to grab another pour and take it upstairs, you can.
All right. What year Fitz is that?
10 year 24, I think.
But he was selling that tumbling dice pretty hard.
It is very good.
Okay. Give me a pour.
I have a bottle out
Dice
there.
double up.
The
Four
rye or the
bottles, I
double
think,
oak?
still left out
Okay.
there.
The 8-year rye they still have. The double oak they have the poured, but they don't have any for sale.
Yeah.
Well, which one's better?
Do you prefer ryes or do you prefer bourbons?
I like both. I will prefer bourbons, but like a good rye is a good, like I'll take that Michter's 10 rye you got sitting there over most bourbons.
Now, I don't like rye, and the tumbling dice 8-year rye was like.
Yeah. The one thing I will say about the rye is we had another one that was a gold wax top. That was a 9-year rye. That one was better than the 8-year rye.
Okay.
But I would kind of edge the rye out over the bourbon a little bit if you're digging on
All right, let's have that.
Especially you can actually get the rye. You can't buy the bourbon from us anymore.
Tumbling dice, 8-year rye, single barrel. Yep. All right, let's look at it first. Let's have a look right there. That's nice.
You can't go wrong with
Yeah,
dice.
it's like dark, a lot of dark sugars on that. Yeah, that's nice. Dude, that's like, it smells much more rye forward than it is. So it's, the odor is much more, the aroma, much more rye forward, but then it's like kind of burnt sugar, like caramel with a little less rye on it on the actual palate. Really nice. These stairs are not steep at all.
No.
They've been here a minute, haven't they?
That's why we have the chair lift.
Yeah, those are not OSHA approved.
When you can't make it back downstairs, they have the chair lift.
Oh, watch the dip here too. We're not very even floors.
Okay. Oh, wow. And then you just design the floor where you can't see it. Fancy.
The barrel has a little hidden trick with it too.
Of course it does.
Me and George got bored one day.
Just a TV lift.
Yep.
That is crazy.
I'd be tired and wouldn't want to drink by the time I got open. That's awesome.
This is like a throwback to the old speed.
What do y'all use this for?
Tasting room.
For like just events, okay.
Yeah, like tomorrow night we have Casa Noblos tequila and my compo coming up for a tequila and taco night. But then we'll try and do like a bourbon event. The 20th this month, we have that main Dr. Yeast guy from Wilderness Trail coming up for an event.
I keep sniffing on this rye right here. Well, it took me a little bit to get my palate back right after eating, but definitely dark sugars. Almost a raisin note on it. Like it just gets into like dark fruit. Really different. Like I don't know if I've had a rye that quite tastes like that one. And sometimes raisin comes with barrel char, but that doesn't really have it. Like it's all the dark fruit things you want without all the bad stuff. So it's nice. I'll have to learn more about tumbling dice.
It's a very interesting pharmacy, isn't it?
It's weird. Yeah, weird. Drug City's a weird name for a pharmacy anyway. In Maryland.
Baltimore County, pretty close to Baltimore City.
Pretty close.
Let's go check out this whiskey selection.
Yeah.
Got the speakeasy doors. OFC on tap. All right, is this my ticket right here?
Yep.
All right.
Do any of you have a Drug City loyalty card?
I do.
Use it.
We do a big thing with loyalty points. Every dollar you spend, you get a point. And like how we started dealing with our allocated whiskeys like Buffalo Trace and blends. If you have $5 in points, you can use it and buy a bottle of Buffalo Trace. If you have $15 in points, you can use it and get yourself a bottle of blends.
That's awesome. That's not that many points. Those points count with any purchase in the place at all. So if you bought those mermaid toys out there.
Anything but pretty much prescriptions. We can't offer points on prescriptions because the federal government thinks then you're enticing people to come to you for prescriptions. So prescriptions are the only thing you don't get points on. But like all our big like allocations, the B-Tax, the Pappies, and like the really one bottle limits, we hold what we call our annual end of the year wish list fund, where I can pull the numbers for Georgia, who are our top liquor spending customers, whether you're buying pours or bottles over in the fountain, and then we invite you to buy a bottle off the list, depending on your ranking. This past year I got a Stag at 130. The year before that I got a Pappy Lot B at like 95. The year before that I was third place and I got an E.H. Taylor 18-year marriage for $74.99. Wow. After using my points to redeem it, I paid less than $5 for that bottle.
So you could actually use points to pay?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Not just to get it, but to pay.
When I say like, if you have $15 in points, you take $15 off that bottles of Blanton's and you pay for the rest. And I want to say our price is either $74.99 or $79.99.
That's crazy. Dude, that's the dumbest point system I've ever heard in my entire life. Like it's wonderful. Like it's terrible for them. It's wonderful for the consumer. You spend $15 in pours over there.
No. So
a point is how much? Okay.
A point is worth 1 penny.
Okay, okay, I got you. Well, then that's not as dumb then.
Yeah,
I got you.
$15, you gotta spend $15.
Okay.
I even started this a little while ago, about 3 or 4 months ago. If you have $20 in points, you can buy what we call a Drug City Challenge coin. And once you have it, you can redeem it in to get any pick that we release. So like when we release our Blanton's Gold pick, if you're not able to make it that
Appreciate
day,
it.
If you're not able to, if you don't want to do the stipulation of buy X number of store pick bottles, go turn your coin in, you have to buy the bottle outright.
That's pretty cool. So a penny, so $1,500 in anything, like you buy anything, right? Fine. It wouldn't be that hard to go through $1,500 in pours over there.
Food, pours, bottles. You could buy Pedialyte out there. You could buy adult Depends out there. You all get points for all of it.
I've been in a liquor store for like an hour and a half, and we haven't even looked at whiskey yet. Oh, more Springbanks. Just bought that Springbank 15. The special bottle with the special top. Okay. What is that? A goat? Like a demon goat?
Demon something.
Okay. What bottle have they got?
This is rum.
Okay.
Made by Online Distillery, who makes a lot of single malt stuff.
You like that stuff there?
I just had this in the bar, and it's absolutely phenomenal. I've never had a rum quite like this.
I haven't seen that Old Pepper Rye right there. It's different.
Did you come across these, the tubed Redwood Empire?
No.
This is
no,
the
first
only
time I've ever
store
seen them.
I've ever seen a tubed Redwood Empire.
That's also $250. So is it something special?
No, that's not. That's for the piggy bank.
Okay, well,
this is $32 now.
Oh, there we go. That's more like it. Where did you get a tube? That's weird.
And it's a branded tube.
It's sealed too. It's got like a little seal on
got
it.
a Redwood Empire seal. The GPS coordinates.
It's neat. It's
fancy.
It's useless.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's neat. No, but I've never noticed them before at all. Somebody in the comments right now is clarifying where these tubes come from. Yeah. What's great about whiskey is you can never know everything. You can't. There's too many brands. There's too many. And sometimes I misspeak. I'll say this brand's in that state when it's in another one because of just, not thinking right. Sometimes for some reason or another I just mix up states. But always count on the comments to correct me, and I expect you to.
They sell out of the tumbling dice.
Nah, it's right here.
It's a good bottle. Oh.
That was pretty solid.
It's a good bottle. That's not going to be here.
There you go. Got it. There's your Rickhouse proof. Whole lot of RY3s. Bunch of different Noble releases. I don't think I've seen that much Noble in one place. Don't see Noble a ton anyway. Pennsylvania straight bourbon. Distilled and bottled. Pretty light in color though. Hey, I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Pleasure. Have a good safe
Yes, sir.
This is the other Epoch stuff.
Okay.
The Epoch Reserve, the white label.
That's the one I want.
That's the one he said was better. The Reserve was better.
This one's so good, they've put like little, apparently people are stealing it. It's pretty good.
Yes. Yeah, very good. So Baltimore Spirits, they wanted to start out as Baltimore Whiskey Company, but they didn't want to source their own juice, or source juice. So they started out making gin. This is some of their gin right here. Changed their name to Baltimore Spirit Company. So when we finally released something, they started with rye because obviously that doesn't take quite as long as bourbons to release. But yes, the Reserve is very good. That's their normal shelf bottle there. I usually get their toasted. The toasted is fantastic.
Cool. Well, I appreciate it. We're going to grab this one. Town Branch Rye. A lot of rye. This is the only state that likes rye whiskey, I think, in general, right?
Maryland used to be the state for rye whiskey.
Yeah. A lot of folks still get their rye from this area for, rye made other places. It's just definitely a larger rye selection here than I see most places.
They stopped making these guys.
The 10?
All the
Calumet farms?
All the Calumets are being discontinued.
Huh.
Yeah. I don't know if that's
Wonder
true
why.
or not, but that's
They're sitting everywhere.
Yeah.
I thought the 15, 16 were pretty good, but they're pricey. There's a lot of labels in here I've never heard of, but I've bought enough whiskey, and if I start looking at them, I'll buy more whiskey. And we are way over budget already for this one, and starting to have space concerns, which is not something I expected for this trip. Thank you. And I did go just a little too hard today. I wasn't planning on finding this much local stuff, if I'm going to be honest. I thought I'd buy 1 or 2 bottles, might find some allocated stuff, but definitely not going this hard on small brands. But overall, really successful bourbon hunt here in the Baltimore, Maryland general vicinity. I know we weren't in the city the whole time, those that are sticklers for details, but I tried. We're in Baltimore-ish. Had a great time, had some great guides here today. But I think we're going to call it right there. Maryland liquor stores are different. They're different. They got bars in them and soda fountains that sell whiskey at half-ounce pours. It's different here. I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like it. Was it everything you anticipated it would be?
Yeah. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. We got to see a good bit of whiskey.
And you joined us for the last store.
I did. I got my babies coming home with me today, so I'm happy.
So you went to one store and bought more than whiskey than I did at 6 stores, I feel like.
And my thought for the day, really, is about taking chances. That's one of the things we're doing an awful lot. We're taking a lot of risk. I hope those risks are going to pay off. But we're trying to push the limits of what we thought was possible. And so we are, trying to get the distillery going. A lot going on behind the scenes, a lot of risk being had there. And every one of them seems to be breaking in our favor right now, and that's a good thing. But really, if you're going to do anything worth doing, you're going to have to take some risks to do it. So, make sure they're calculated. Make sure you're not taking too much of a risk. Don't gamble, but good, healthy, calculated risk, always worth doing. Appreciate y'all watching all the way to the end. We'll see y'all in the next one. Hey B-Team, are you ready to look fresh for family get-togethers this holiday season? Do you want your friends and family to know you have a selection, not a collection? You know Uncle Ted watches the channel as well. Instead of listening to all those rehash stories from high school, you can actually talk about bourbon. If you want to rep the Brewzle community, then listen up. We're going to change how we're doing merch just a little bit. The Brewzle team is dropping a massive amount of all new merch to keep our Brewzle community looking their absolute best. We're releasing 5 new t-shirt designs, hats, leather coasters, koozies, and a members only kit from Aged in Ore. Now, whether you're looking for some new gear promoting your love of bourbon or a gift for a bourbon lover in your life, then be ready when we launch on October 19th. Be sure to grab some new Brewzle gear on launch day because every one of these is in limited supply.